Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm from North London, so Emily, a proud Tottenham fan, and today we're diving into my Premier League Game Week 5 predictions. There are some massive fixtures this weekend, including the clash for Spurs v Brighton and a massive showdown between Arsenal and Man City. I'll be breaking down each match with my predictions first, like always, and then every time we do this, we'll look at what you guys predicted for in the community poll. So let's get started. This is the 247th Merseyside Derby and Liverpool are flying. They've won all 4 league games and sit top of the table. What's remarkable is their knack for late drama. 29% of all stoppage time goals in the league this season have come from Liverpool. They've scored winners in the 90th minute or later in three of their 4 league games. Everton under David Moyes have been solid defensively with 4 clean sheets in 5 matches, but they've struggled to convert chances. Moyes has never won a Premier League game at Anfield in 20 attempts, which is a brutal stat. Liverpool have won their last 4 home derbies and lost just once in their last 28 against Everton at Anfield. With Salah in form and Van Dijk leading the line, I think they'll be too strong. As a Spurs fan, this one's tough. Brighton have beaten us home and away last season, scoring 7 goals across those 2 games. They're strong at the Amex, unbeaten in the last 6 home games, and they've already beaten Man City there this season. Tottenham under Thomas Frank have looked more defensively solid, conceding just 1 goal in 5 matches, but Brighton's pressing and home form could be too much. Spurs are missing Maddison, Kulusevski and Basuma, which weakens our midfield creativity. Brighton will likely start Mitoma, Welbeck and Rutter up front, while Spurs will rely on Richarlison, Kudus and Simmons. I think we'll score, but Brighton might just edge it. Burnley have had a brutal start facing Liverpool, Man United and Spurs already, but they've shown fight, especially in narrow losses to United and Liverpool. They've only won once, but they've looked competitive. Forest under new boss Ange Postecoglou have lost 3 in a row, including a cup collapse against Swansea, but they've got attacking talent. Gibbs White, Hudson-Odoi and Chris Wood, and I think they'll finally click here. Burnley are missing key players like Bayer and Roberts, while Forest are without Murillo and Ola Aina. I think Forest's pace on the counter will be key. West Ham have conceded 11 goals in 4 games, the worst in the league. Graham Potter is under pressure, and their only win come against Forest. Palace, meanwhile, are unbeaten in 7 matches across all competitions and have just conceded just once in the league. Even without Eze, Palace look organised and dangerous on the break. They've won their last 6 visits to West Ham, including a 2-0 win last season. West Ham are missing Souček due to suspension, which weakens their midfield. I think Palace will continue their strong run at the London Stadium. This feels like a relegation 6-pointer. Wolves are bottom with 0 points and Leeds haven't scored since matchday 1. Both managers are under pressure and neither side looks convincing going forward. Wolves are missing key striker Strand Larsen and Leeds are relying on Calvert-Lewin and Okafor to find goals. Wolves have conceded in 5 straight matches while Leeds have gone 4 games without a win. I think both teams will cancel each other out. United are in crisis. They've only picked up 4 points from 4 games, their worst start since 1992. Chelsea, meanwhile, are unbeaten in the league and have scored 9 goals, just joint most with Arsenal and Liverpool. Chelsea's João Pedro has been electric and Palmer is growing into the number 10 role. United's defence looks shaky and Amorim is under serious pressure. Chelsea have only won 18% of their games at Old Trafford, but I think they'll break that trend. Fulham have quietly built a solid defensive record, no goals conceded from open play this season. Brentford have struggled away from home, losing both away games so far. Fulham also did the double over Brentford last season, with Raul Jimenez likely to return and Kevin pushing for a start. I think Fulham will edge this West London derby. Bournemouth are flying, 3 wins in 4, including victories over Spurs and Brighton. Newcastle, meanwhile, are winless in their last 5 meetings with Bournemouth and just lost to Barcelona midweek. With Anthony Gordon suspended and injuries piling up, I think Bournemouth will take advantage and grab a narrow win. Sunderland have started well, sitting 7th in the table, but Villa are desperate for a win. They've drawn 3 and lost 2, but they're getting key players like Camara and Onana back. Villa's quality should shine through, especially with Sancho and Harvey Elliott pushing for starts. Sunderland will fight, but Villa might just edge it. This is the big one. Arsenal are unbeaten in 5 matches against City, and they've looked dominant at home, smashing Leeds and Forest. City are starting to click again, with Haaland and Foden scoring freely, but they've lost their last 2 games against Arsenal. With Saka and Odegaard doubtful, Arsenal will rely on Martinelli and Trossard. I think they'll rise to the occasion and take a huge win. Alright, now that I've shared my predictions, let's take a look at what you guys predicted in the community poll. Some of these results are really interesting and a few are quite surprising. Let's break them down match by match. This one's split right down the middle. Half of you are backing Liverpool, which makes sense given their form and dominance in this fixture. But the other half are going bold with Everton. Maybe you're banking on their defensive record or hoping for a debut for their Derby upset. Personally, I think Liverpool's attacking depth will be too much, but fair play to the Everton believers. Spurs fans showing up strong here. 2/3 of you are backing Tottenham to win away at Brighton, which is optimistic considering our recent record there. Brighton have been tough at home and they've caused us problems before. I've gone for a Brighton win, but I really hope you guys are right and I'm wrong. No one's backing Forest here, which is surprising. Burnley have been competitive, but they've struggled to get results. A lot of you are expecting a draw, which makes sense given both teams are still finding their rhythm. I've gone for a Forest win, but clearly the community isn't convinced. Wow, a full 100% back in Palace. That's rare to see in any poll. Palace have been solid and West Ham are leaking goals, so I get it. But no one even considering a draw or a West Ham bounce back. That's bold. I've gone with Palace too, so we're all in agreement here. Another unnameous result. Everyone's expecting a draw. That tells me you guys see this as a tight, low-scoring affair, and I agree. Both teams are struggling, and neither has shown enough to suggest they'll dominate. I've gone for a 1-1 draw, so we're aligned here. Most of you are backing United, which is interesting given their poor start. Maybe it's the Old Trafford factor or just faith in Amram turning things around. I've gone for Chelsea to win it though. It's a risky call, but I think they looked sharper overall. This one can go either way. Another 100%, you guys are fully behind Fulham here. Brentford haven't looked great away from home and Fulham have been great, quietly solid. I've gone for a 2-1 Fulham win, so we're all on the same page again. This one surprised me. Newcastle are a strong side, but you guys are backing Bournemouth all the way. Maybe it's the home form or Newcastle's recent dip. I've gone for a 1-0 Bournemouth win, so again we're in sync. Majority backing Sunderland here, which is interesting. They've started well, but Villa have more quality on paper. I've gone for a Villa win, but I can see why you'd back Sunderland at home. This one could be close. Another full house. Everyone's backing Arsenal to beat Man City. That's a bold call, but Arsenal have had City's number recently. I've gone for a 2-1 Arsenal win, so we're all in agreement. This could be a statement game for Arteta's side. And that wraps up my Game Week 5 predictions and your community picks. Let me know in the comments which ones you agree with and which ones you think I've got totally wrong. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell so you don't miss future prediction videos. I'll be back soon with more Premier League content and Europa League prediction next week. Thanks for watching, and come on you Spurs.